Christian and I'm the publisher for LA Magazine. We are here to celebrate this beautiful, iconic building, the engine number 28 building. It's been here for 110 years. And I am so excited. And also I want to show you guys our latest cover. Andre and Christian are doing an auction in the back, so please go over and see them. You could own one of these prints. So look how beautiful this is. But I did want to introduce our fabulous editor-in-chief, Shirley Halperin. Shirley, come on up.
Hey everyone. Hi. Okay, how does this sound? Can everyone hear me? Okay, hi. Thanks for being here, for helping us celebrate this historic building in downtown Los Angeles, the new home of Los Angeles Magazine and our other properties, Pasadena, Orange Coast, and SoCal Design. We're really, really stoked to have everyone here in like our home turf. This is so cool. And what a thrill to have Rick Springfield with us today. Rick, of course, has been doing his thing for 40 years, 40 plus, sorry, 50, yeah. Started very young. And he's got a new album that comes out August 4th. It's called Automatic. It's really excellent. It's like the Rick Springfield you want to hear in 2023. So, wonderful job. Rick, would you join us up here on the stage? I know you live in Malibu, and you have for a while, right? And you lived there. When you moved to Malibu, it wasn't Malibu, like the way we know it today.
Right.
Can you describe what it was like? What attracted you?
I was there in '74 when I had my first band. We rented a house opposite Bob Dylan's place, and there was no other houses around on Blue Water. And it was little country town. People were saying, like, why are you going out there? And I wish I'd bought out there then. It would have been much smarter. But yeah, it's very different now. But people still imagine it's like Miami. You know, they expect Miami, and it's still little beach shacks that they cost you $5 million. That's all. But it's a great place to live. And I loved everywhere I lived. I would have still been in Toluca Lake, but I had allergies, and the smog killed me. So
the smog in the valley killed you? So is that what drew you to Malibu, sort of like the fresh air and the nature of it?
No, because it's super cool.
Okay.
Much cool. No, when I first came here from Australia, I lived in Hollywood. Thank you. Hollywood apartment. And I write to people I hardly knew in Australia just so I could sign Hollywood, California on the return thing.
Did you shop at the Rock and Roll Ralph's?
What's that?
The Rock and Roll Ralph's on Sunset. Did you shop there?
The what now?
The Rock and Roll Ralph's.
Oh, the Ralphs, yeah, the Rock and Roll Ralphs. Yeah, I lost $20 there when I couldn't afford it. Yeah, is that the Rock and Roll Ralphs? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of Ralphs.
And my acting class was right next door to it, too.
So you've been here for so long, but you're not a Los Angeles native. You're actually from Australia.
I am.
When did you consider yourself, if you do, an Angelino?
Well, I'm an American citizen now. I became a citizen because I wanted to be eligible for jury duty. It's really great. I'm very excited about that. Nothing better than, judging someone you've never met. Yeah, I consider myself still Australian, but everything, my home and family and friends, friend, is here in America. I don't have a lot of friends. Guys don't have a lot of friends.
Well, actually, I was surprised to read that you and Sammy Hagar, who is your partner in the
That's
rap,
my one friend, yeah.
Yeah, you guys, you go back so far. How did you first meet Sammy?
I met Sammy in 1981, I think, when when Jesse's Girl was the first to hit. And Sammy actually, I played at Santa Monica Civic, and Sammy actually was instrumental in helping me get the sound rig and the lighting rig together. He was a very, very giving guy, and it was he was already, a bigger star than me back then. And he's just always been a real, very supportive guy, unless he doesn't like you.
Clearly you got...
And then he'll blast you in any newspaper.
Well...
No, he's a great guy, and I've known him since then. And you know, we've crossed paths all the time. And because I recorded his song, I've done everything for you. And that he said put his daughters through college. And then, you know, he had his own great success. And of course, with the tequila, I said, this is the guy I want to get into business with alcohol. Music's already worked, so let's see if we can make the alcohol work too.
Wow, so he taught you lighting, then hit making, and now rum.
Rum, yes, how to be a successful... well, everybody has got a name wants to get into the alcohol business, to be honest. But it's a very difficult business, as I've learned. But it's fun. It's, you know, we have a lot in common. Sammy and I, we've done a couple of promotional shows, and we have the music thing, and you know, music and drinking has been synonymous since we were kids. Well, not little kids, but you know, young teenagers, and it's just a very natural thing. There's no it's not a false thing to promote it, because we love it and we love the music, and it just all goes together. Very, very organic.
It can't be any harder than the music business.
No, I think anything you want is difficult.
Okay. You know, your new album, which is excellent, as I told the crowd, there's a few, I'm going to list my favorite songs. This Town, Broke House, which I'm kind of curious, like, which version of broke you're going for? Like, broke like money broke, or like broken?
It's a house that is broken.
Okay.
It's about a relationship, and it's actually a woman I've always been really big on, like Est and Tony Robbins and stuff like that. I'm a big like self-motivator, so I've been to those kind of things, and you hear a lot of stories. You meet a lot of people that you wouldn't normally meet. And there was this girl that had a difficult relationship with her husband. I won't go with her father. I won't go into it. It's in the song, but and then had a similar relationship with her husband, which history repeats itself. So that's what the song is about.
It's a great song. Fake It Till You Make It, also one of my faves.
Oh, that's my philosophy. It's been my philosophy since for having success in life, is to imagine it before it actually happens and picture yourself there. Again, it's the whole, like, you know, Norman's Vincent Peale thing of seeing it before it actually happens, imagining that you're there already. And if, you know, fake it till you make it is actually a very accurate phrase from me.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's almost like manifesting.
Yeah, it is manifesting, exactly.
But to call it fake it is almost like you're downplaying it.
Well, I was a big fan of Errol Flynn, and when he first came here and he would be down, he'd go out and buy a new suit, and he would put himself mentally where he wanted to be in his head, and that's what you have to do. You know, I spent a lot of time in Hollywood by myself in my apartment, counting my change to buy a gun to shoot myself. So it's been a very difficult journey, but just having the focus has helped me through a lot. The dark times, and there were a lot of dark times.
Yeah, which you detail in your book, which is amazing. Late at Night, such a great read.
Oh yeah, don't read that.
No. So, of course...
When I finished writing it, I said, oh my God, people are going to actually read this. So I called up my agent and said, they can't release this book. And she said, well, you've actually signed an agreement. They can, and they've given you money. But she talked me off the cliff, but I was very nervous about that because it's very revealing, and I'm glad my mom is not around to read it.
I'm sure she took one read at the manuscript and was like, oh no, honey, this is coming out, whether you want it or not.
You're a very naughty boy, Richard. My mom sounded a lot like the women on Monty Python. The guys who pretended they were women.
Okay, so you've said that it's really interesting, the concept of a permanent adolescence. Like, I've worked in music magazines pretty much up until like a month ago, and that was my adolescent dream. I wanted to be a music journalist, and you're kind of still living that. But imagine if there were social media then.
Oh, yeah.
What would
would've
that
been
have been like?
It would have been very different. I don't know. I pity the young people growing up with all that. It's really a devastating thing. But, you know, you learn to work with it. I mean, the music business has changed so drastically, and you can't, you know, I know a lot of musicians who kind of moan about it, but it is what it is, and you have to work with what it is. And it's always been difficult in the music business, and now there's social media. It's a whole other ball game. But it's, I don't know how anyone finds music these days, you know, that isn't on the 12 songs that aren't on the radio. I don't know how they find all the great music that's out there, and there's still great music being made. I mean, like the Queens of the Stone Age new album, I love, and I don't hear it played anywhere. And you know, mine. The fuck?
I was thinking more about the misdeeds of your youth.
The misdeeds.
Yes, and if Instagram had existed.
Yeah, I probably would have been in prison. Yeah, you know, you're forgiven a lot as a young guy. And we didn't get caught, so, you know, it's all good. And most of it was in Australia, so.
All right, I'm jumping around, and I'm sorry, but there's a bunch of things I want to ask you about. First of all, love your Sirius radio show, 80s on 8. Great channel. Working class
I'm kidding
DJ.
with that, you know. I don't consider myself a DJ. I make fun of it, so hopefully you get the humor.
Well, I was going to ask, I mean, do you get a sort of gratification from curating, you know, a purely like sort of audio experience?
No.
Oh, all right. Is it the money? Can't be the money. They're cheap as hell.
They are so friggin' cheap.
Yeah.
It cost me more to record the episode than...
I'm sure.
Because I got to pay my engineer in my studio, you know. They're cheap bastards, they really are. But it's a fun thing to do. I like doing it. And as Wayne says, it gets your name out there.
Well, speaking of, you're about to go out.
Oh, did I lose you guys? Okay.
Oh, guys,
Sorry.
bye.
You going to the bathroom or you going to get another drink? No? Okay. Oh, you're moving up. Oh, moving closer. Where's she going?
She was just getting an angle for the photo.
You getting a drink or you going to the bathroom, miss? We need to know.
Do you do this in the middle of your shows?
In my solo show, I can actually see everybody. If someone gets up, they get reamed.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
What are you, like 12? You can't hold it for like an hour and a half? Wear a friggin' diaper then. They make them for your size now.
Ouch. Okay. Richard.
Adults, I mean. They make them for adults.
You have a tour coming up.
I do?
I think so.
I do, yes. Starts August 4th. Well, what is it called? Thank you so much. I want the 80s? I want the 80s. I want my 80s. Okay, see, I'm clueless. I'm the singing meat. And they point me to a stage, and I get up and I go out there and I sing. But yeah, it's a great crowd. There's the Hooters, who I love. They haven't been on a tour for very often here in America. There is Tommy Two-Tone, who we kind of have under our wing and take everywhere. There's the Tubes that will be playing with us some shows, and John Waite, who I love.
Oh, amazing.
And I'm Paul Young. Every time you go away, you know,
Wow.
Paul hasn't been here in a long time either.
No. Yeah. Wow, that's a great bill.
Yeah, I actually, his bass player, Pino Palladino, played, I don't know if you remember the bass sound on Every Time I Go Away, but it's a really beautiful, fretless chorus sound. And I love that bass sound. I was recording an album called Tao in '85, and, you know, I was kind of, thank you. And I was, you know, kind of a little taken with myself. I said, let's fly this guy out. He's great. So we flew him out from England, Pino, and he's an amazing player. He's so top of the food chain now as bass players. He plays with The Who and everybody. But back then, he was just kind of starting out, and I brought him out, and it was the first time he'd been in America. And we sat him down in the studio, and I said, I want that bass sound that you got on the Paul Young record. He goes, that wasn't me, that was the engineer. I went, here's your ticket home, fucker. No, he would play. He played some amazing stuff, but
Did he play with Hall & Oates or Billy Joel? I feel like he played with
no.
someone
I mean,
else.
he's played with a lot of people.
Okay.
I mean, he's
Fair.
really one of the very top bass players in the world now, I think.
Well, two-part question about being on the road. One, guys, can we get a little shh in the back?
Yeah,
Sorry,
shut the fuck
I'm going to
up,
be
will you?
obnoxious.
We're trying to talk.
Thank you. Two questions about the tour, which you should all see.
Didn't
One,
drive 2.5 hours for nothing.
how are you preparing physically? Because it's pretty grueling to be on the road these days. I mean, just,
Yeah, I work out every day, and I have a trainer that is. But I get a lot of energy from the crowd. We have an amazing audience, and as you can see, they give back a lot of energy. So that's really a bit of an energy vampire I draw from the crowd.
I assume Jesse's Girl is still part of the repertoire.
No, we don't do that anymore.
You don't touch it?
I'm not familiar with that
Well,
song. Is
if
that
you
something I
were to
should know?
play Jesse's Girl, do you adjust the octave down?
No, we play it in the original key.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I can't hit the notes, but we play it in the original key. Yeah, no, we do most of the songs in the original key. A couple we take down, but it doesn't depend on high notes. It actually depends on the amount of energy you put out. Like if it's a lot of lines together, it can drain you on stage because you're running around like a fool trying to entertain people. So, we play in concert pitch, and most of them are.
That's amazing.
And it's a very probing question that you would know that people drop keys as they get older. I would like to let you know Paul McCartney does not.
Yeah. But plenty do. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. I wanted to ask you just a little touch on your acting career. Do you still feel ownership of the name Noah Drake now that Drake is the biggest pop star on earth?
No, I don't.
Do you share Drake?
No, I don't. That was really 18 months of my life. We went very fast, and my butt's tingling. Hang on. Okay. I got to call him back. Yeah, it's a real pisser putting your phone in your pocket, especially your front pocket. Ooh. Sorry, what was the question? I have ADD as well. Dude, it's not a happy place up here. What?
Noah Drake. You played it for 18
No,
months.
I don't feel any great allegiance to the name. Certainly, I mean, I look at it, and I was young, and there was a lot of awful scenes. I thought it wasn't really that great. It was really soap opera acting is about line memorization. Very few actors really have it down enough to actually really act and be great. And there are people like that. My friend Doug Davidson was amazing at that. There were several people on General Hospital that were great at it. I was more just struggling to memorize lines, but I did my best.
I mean, you acted in you were in Californication, such a great role.
Well,
that was actual acting.
Yeah, well, that was great writing. Californication, Ricky and the Flash, True Detectives,
That's right.
American Horror Story. It's all great writing. And when an actor, it starts with the writing. If the writing's good, you're halfway there.
Yeah. I mean, when you were considering taking that GH role, it was kind of it could have been a career killer for a musician. Today it's very different. Today you have to have that TV series and the fashion line and the this and the that.
And the skin cream. It's coming out, folks.
Can you tell me about that decision? Was it really just about the money?
Yeah, it was totally about the money.
Okay.
I will be absolutely honest. I had a record. I'd recorded Working Class Dog, and on the radio they were still playing Barry Manilow and disco, and my record company didn't know what to do with a pop rock guitar based album, so they kept delaying the release and delaying the release and delaying the release. And I got this gig at General Hospital, and I thought, there's no connection because it's just a bunch of blue-haired ladies ironing that watch soap operas. I didn't realize what was about to happen. And so I took the thing for money because I had no money. And it was the first regular money I'd ever made, and I was really Jake to have regular money. And then they released the record, and General Hospital became the college staple, and it just became the most popular show that year of the summer, and it was just serendipitous. There was no planning at all.
And it wasn't blue-haired grandmas who were watching it.
Yeah, no, it was, they'd stop
It was everybody.
They would change classes in colleges because they knew people would never show up. Thank you. While General Hospital was on. It was huge. I mean, it really was. And I just happened to stumble onto it. It wasn't, anything I did. It was Luke and Laura.
Well, I want to say just so many things in your life, like you've almost had this like Forrest Gumpian life where, like interesting things have come together during particular moments in time, whether it was MTV or your early breaks or, whatever it was. And it's really been amazing to watch. And
oh, thank you.
I want to toast you and ask you, what is your cocktail of choice? What should we be drinking to toast you?
Well, it would probably be my favorite drink is, since we started Beach Bar Rum, is a Cola Spice straight out of the freezer with nothing to mix it. It's incredible. It's just a great high until the next morning. But it's
so
awesome.
It doesn't freeze. It remains liquid?
What's that?
Does it freeze or does it
No,
remain
it doesn't. It's alcohol.
Okay,
It doesn't freeze, and
right.
it's incredible. It comes out all frosty, and it's amazing. It really is when I. Thank you. When I do drink, that's what I drink.
But you're taking some time off from drinking for this tour?
I do go in and out of it. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just based on the emails I get from my liver.
Well, to health, to a great tour. Have a good time out there. Congrats on the album. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
here.
everybody who showed up. Awesome.
Oh, questions? Oh, sorry. You'd like to do the question.
Does anybody have any questions for Rick?
I do.
How did the drumming with the roses, the playing the guitar with the roses start?
Oh, that was a kind of a mistake. I was playing a solo up front on the edge of the stage, and a woman kept pushing roses into my hand. I thought, I'm playing. And the thorns were hitting my hand, so I just grabbed them, and I was mad, and I smashed it against the guitar, and the audience went, yes! So and then they started bringing roses. So, I'm the Morticia Adams of the rock and roll world. What's that?
When does your new sitcom come out?
Sitcom. I don't know. I'm still waiting for my agent at William Morris to wake up from his drug-infused sleep.
Yeah. Mine's not so much a question, but when I was in high school, I was so in love with you, and so I felt.
Oh, you're not now? Oh, that's great.
No.
Thank you.
I still am.
Makes you feel really good.
No.
Look, now I'm old. You don't like me?
No, I'm not finished. I fell in love with Australia, and I married an Australian man, and I think that's because of you.
Well, what's those Aussies? They're devious bastards.
Hi, Rick. What's your favorite song on the new album and why?
Wow. I like the song Automatic because it came to me in a dream. So it was, you don't get to dream songs very often, or when you do, they're usually a Rolling Stones or a Beatles song. And you go, oh, it's a great song. Oh, fuck. But so Automatic came to me in a dream, and so I loved that whole thing. Plus the song I wrote about Maddie because of what it means to me. And also a song I wrote about Brett. I mean, I lost two great friends over the last year, and my way to deal with that is to write about it. And I wrote songs about it for them.
Hi, Rick. Have you thought about putting your songs out as a poetry book?
As a poetry book? I have not thought of that. Yeah, they do rhyme, and without music, they are poetry. Yeah, no, I haven't actually. That's why Google gets the lyrics so wrong. It's like embarrassing. I go, well, that doesn't even mean anything. So I put all the lyrics on this album so that they wouldn't screw it up this time. Just for my own vanity, that's all.
Hello. Do you have plans to do any more movies? Because I loved Ricky and the Flash, and of course, Hard to Hold.
Thank you for that.
Well,
why don't you go slap my acting agent at William Morris and tell him to start looking. So, yeah, well, the strike's on at the moment. We have an amazing music agent, Gail, at William Morris, but my acting agent, I think he died. So I'm not sure, so we'll see.
Tell us about the fan event in October in Punta Cana.
Oh, yes, there's a fan event in Punta Cana. And we'll be having guests coming. We're not sure who. Who's coming? Oh, you see, you guys know. What are you asking me the questions for? Gee. Who is it? Who's coming? I know there's a Beatle band that I'm in, because we always do a Beatle thing. Who? John Waite's coming? Who knew? Yeah, my buddy John, he's, I think, one of the top 10 rock voices of all time. I love John Waite. And he's a great guy and a huge talent, so we're lucky to have somebody like that.
Any other questions for Rick?
And that's all I know.
Oh, we got one more.
Hi. I'm wondering why you did this album with you playing all of the instruments instead of using your band.
Because every other musician sucks. No, I just, it's just the way it happened. I wrote the song and then went into the studio, and I was the only one there, so I just said, well, I'll just play everything. And it wasn't planned. It was just, I laid a drum track down and said, well, let's put bass on, and then guitar, and then keyboards, and it just kind of went that way. That I had a couple of people come in. We have a great guy called Monty Newell who played some synth bass that's amazing, and Wendy Wagner, who sings with Joe Walsh, came in, and I actually wrote special parts in the song for her, the solo parts, and she's a killer. She's just incredible. Her and I did all her backgrounds.
Fabulous. So, Rick, I did want to say a lot of your daytime star friends are all here. I know Carolyn's here, Christos is here, and I know you were very close with Jacqueline Zeman, who had recently just passed away.
Oh, sorry about that thing about the line memorization thing. I'm sure you guys are awesome. I sucked, personally. I got to tell you, I look at some of that stuff and I go, my God, what was I thinking? I was just terrible.
Hey, no, you weren't. You got to start somewhere, right?
You got to start somewhere. No, actually, it's soap operas are amazing training for an actor because you got to hit the marks the first time. You got to be aware of lights and shadows and all that kind of technical stuff that is actually very hard to master. And they move so fast, you got to have it down. So it's a great discipline. I advise any actor to start out in soaps. It definitely is a great training ground.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you could be one mythical creature, what would it be?
Wait, what?
You could be one mythical creature.
One mythical creature? Oh, I'd have to be a vampire.
Ah, there you go. That's great.
On that note.
Oh, okay. On that note, let's enjoy some cocktails. Let's enjoy the 110th anniversary of the Engine Number 28 building. And let's enjoy Los Angeles Magazine and everything we love about LA. Rick, Shirley, thank you guys so much. Any parting words, Rick, before we... Oh, we're going to have a volleyball tournament.
Yeah, come on, let's get it going. Thank you guys for coming out. I know it was a long way. It took me 2.5 fucking hours. So I don't know what it took you guys, but it was awesome. And we'll see you on the road, I hope. We will be here. I think we're playing at... what are we doing in LA? Is it the what? The what? Oh, the YouTube Theater in the SoFi. Yeah, okay, we're playing there. That's a great theater. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.